Welcome back. Well, the story is that Asia is actually pretty red and downbeat today, basically taking some money off the table after a stupendous rally yesterday. That's the picture. So perhaps we'll get a slightly cautious start to begin with. Those are some of the key markets. Hong Kong Hang Seng is the one that's the lowest. By the way, did you know that Kospi, South Korean markets are starting trade 1 hour later today to try and ease traffic? I'm just wondering if anyone in Mumbai is listening. They've got exams and all happening in South Korea this morning, so they've just opened the market an hour later so that people can get from A to B. Anyway, let's quickly take it to our team as promised and get you the list of top stocks to watch out for. We're kicking it off with what else but Bajaj Finance. RBI action came through last evening. Abhishek, tell us more about it.
Well, as you mentioned, RBI has taken action against Bajaj Finance. They have asked Bajaj Finance to stop sanctions as well as disbursals of loans under two key lending products, that is e-com and Insta EMI cards, with immediate effect. So action is against the non-adherence of the company to the extent of digital guidelines that were issued by RBI last year, that is in 2022, with respect to non-issuance of key fact statements to borrowers. Supervisory restrictions will be reviewed upon the rectification of the said deficiencies by RBI to the satisfaction level that will be done by Bajaj Finance. Details of the products is that total EMI cards issued, that is card in force, is about 4.2 crore as of Q2 FY24. It grew by almost 22% YOY and about 10% sequentially. In Q2, the EMI cards acquired grew by 30% YOY and about close to 6% quarter on quarter. Now, Bajaj Finance has responded in a press release. They mentioned that there is no material impact with respect to financials of the company on account of the RBI action undertaken. They'll rectify RBI's observation and comply with RBI's direction at the earliest possible. We have a brokerage note, IFL Securities, who has written that EMI cards acquisition accounts for almost 18 to 20% of Bajaj Finance new customer acquisitions, and these cards form an important part of the fee as they form almost 2% of AUM with respect to the fee income garnered by Bajaj Finance. Back to you.
All right, Abhishek, thanks very much for that. The stock was down yesterday in a market which was roaring higher, so maybe the street had a bit of a sense of something, apprehension. That was clearly visible in the stock. More on this story later as we go along, but ONGC is the next one which is in focus. Sonal has got details on this one. Sonal, hi, morning.
Good morning, Prashant. Well, they held a conference call after earnings yesterday, and they did talk about volume growth going ahead. They said that they expect commencement of oil production from KG Basin in November 2023 and gas from April or May of 2024, and that was the next volume kicker for the company as well. This will increase oil production from 10,000 barrels to 45,000 barrels and gas to 10 MMSCMD by FY25. Additionally, interestingly, they are also exploring two Petchem projects, the way Petronet LNG told us after their earnings, and this will entail an investment of 1 lakh crore rupees. This is by 2028-2030, and this will be via the JV mode. They are still considering it, and it's not a final decision. New gas fields, they will attract 20% premium over APM prices, and they will be adding 6 to 8% volumes every year from new gas fields, enjoying that premium as well. Motilal Oswal, they reiterate their buy on the stock with an 18% potential upside. Target price is at 235 rupees a share. Morgan Stanley says that production growth after more than a decade of decline that the company has seen will be in the next leg of outperformance. They highlighted that on the call and that it is now largely de-risked, so volume growth going forward will be the big kicker for ONGC.
Okay, thanks a lot for that, Sonal. Well, let's go back to Abhishek. He's here because he's tracking two more stocks, Paytm and RateGain. Abhishek?
Well, Nigel, to begin with RateGain, sources say that they have launched a QIP of 600 crore. Base issue size is about 400 crore and the oversubscription is about 200 crore. That is what they have kept. So last closing price was around 712 per share. So it looks like the indicative price that they have formed is about close to 9.7% discount to yesterday's closing price. The SEBI floor price is around 676.7 per share. So the indicative price of about 643 per share is at a discount of close to 5% to SEBI floor price as well. Paytm, they have partnered with global travel technology company called Amadeus. That will be done to redefine travel experience with artificial intelligence. So partnership should help Paytm stock gain in trade today. Back to you.
Okay, the only thing is we don't know who's getting paid how much in this partnership. But I think these things unravel with time, so we'll wait for that. Thanks very much for putting it on the radar for us, Abhishek. Let's move on then. We have some more stocks in news. Sonal is tracking them for us. Sonal?
Well, 3 stocks on my radar. Let me start with Dabur because Dabur and Dermoviva, they have been dismissed as defendants in federal cases in the US, and now companies dismissed for lack of personal jurisdiction as well. Neither Dabur or the other company, they manufacture or sold hair relaxer products in the US. It has been the outcome of this particular case. VST Tillers, they have unveiled 3 new tractors at Agri Technica in Germany, which also includes an EV tractor. So they have issued new range of products in this particular conference. TCS has set November 25th as the record date for its 17,000 crore rupee buyback. The company will buy back up to 4.09 crore shares at a price of 4,150 rupees a piece. So these 3 stocks on the radar today.
All right, Sonal, thanks very much for that. More with Vivek. He's standing by. Vivek, morning.
Well, good morning. Quite a few stocks on my radar as well. Some slight negative news flow coming in as far as United Spirits are concerned. The street is keenly anticipating the outcome and a positive outcome of the UK FTA negotiations. But at this point of time, sources to network, the government sources to network indicate that, this point of time, the India-UK trade negotiations are taking longer due to the tough negotiations that are going on. Negotiations continue on a lot of other issues, including alcohol tariffs, which is key as far as United Spirits are concerned, given that the raw material price is something that will be impacted. The next stock on our radar is Suzlon. Some positive news flow coming in. The company's new turbine segment, which is a 3 megawatt to 3.15 megawatt wind turbine series, has received a positive RLMM listing from the government. The RLMM is the revised list of models as well as manufacturing. So this now allows Suzlon to go ahead and commercialize this particular project, this particular product. Now talking about Vedanta, some more positive news flow coming in over there. The company's arm, Malco Energy, has incorporated a subsidiary which is Vedanta Copper International. Along with that, yesterday, Money Control reports that the company has gone ahead and dispatched its first consignment of green aluminium, which basically means lower carbon intensity aluminium, and they will now be supplying close to 300 metric tons of low carbon billets to Global Aluminium, which is their first Indian domestic customer.
Okay, all right. Interesting development there. Thank you, Vivek, for all of the details. With that, let's quickly recap our list of top stocks to watch today. The ones that have positive news flow around them are ONGC, Paytm, Dabur, VST Tiller Tractors, TCS, Suzlon Energy, and Vedanta. The ones that have negative news around them are Bajaj Finance, RateGain, and United Spirits. Okay, with that, let's turn our attention to commodities. Manisha is joining in with the latest. Manisha, good morning. What's top of mind for you?
Thank you for that, Subi. Well, I'm looking at the crude oil prices because we have seen prices extend decline in the month of November. Remember, October was a weak month as well. So this is going to be a second straight month where we are trading in the negative. $80 a barrel, just about holding for the Brent prices there. Well, to deal with, you have the U.S. crude output, which is now at a record high of 13.2 million barrels per day. Apart from that, the U.S. inventories have continued to rise as well. The latest shows 3.6 million, which is more than double than what the street was anticipating. So there are more than enough supplies in the market right now. So if the markets were getting scared about deficit in the fourth quarter of this year because of the cuts from the OPEC and allies, the U.S. output has been much on the higher side. Add to that the fact that the China oil refinery output also has eased in the month of October. The China economic data not so well. And then there is a statement from IEA saying that the oil markets are not as tight as perceived earlier. All of that seems to be weighing on to the markets, and we have seen 1.5% of decline yesterday, and a percentage point of a cut is how Asia is trading with right now.
Okay, well, Manisha, thanks very much for that. We'll take a quick commercial break here. We'll come back and we'll have Deepan Mehta, Director at Elixir Equities, and we'll talk fundamentals and specific stocks with him in just a bit. Okay, and a little after that, we'll also be joined by the management of KRBL to discuss the company's performance for the quarter gone by. But more importantly, how is this quarter panning out? Stay tuned.